In this video, we're talking about the new April water minerals. Welcome, my name is Patrick Rolf and this is Coffee with April. For this video and second time in a row here, we're introducing a new April equipment, or basically April product that is created to enhance basically the whole world of April coffee, right? So everything we do in terms of equipment is there to make our style of roasted coffee better, right? We're focusing on light roasted coffee where we can clearly taste the terroir of the coffee that we are working with. And we're focused on green coffees or a raw material that has very little processing taste or processing driven taste to the coffee, right? So that's always going to be important when we talk about our different coffees. Now, this product is really interesting because this is water minerals, and water is one of those things that I think for now, or by now, we all know that water is really important when it comes to just overall coffee quality, right? We have been struggling with water for quite some time because we're based in Copenhagen. And Copenhagen is one of the most challenging places in the world, I would say, from a coffee brewing perspective, just because the hardness of the water is so high that it's very, very difficult to extract anything out of the coffee. So this journey really started when we opened up the first April store many years ago and has been kind of developing ever since. And in February this year, we opened up the new April experience. And with that process, we knew that even though we work with very sophisticated water filtration systems in our store, we wanted a way to ensure quality and consistency throughout the day to kind of deal with this fluctuating water quality that comes from any kind of system. So this is a product that we have developed specifically to be used in the April store, but it's obviously also perfect for any of you homebrewers that are just looking to improve your coffee game, especially if you're working with the April brewers and the April coffees. So in this video, we're going to give you a little bit of a rundown of the product. We're going to show you one way of using the product. There are preliminary, like 2 different versions that you could actually use it, or primary. So interesting stuff, and we're just going to walk you through by first starting 2 identical brews, more or less. And after we're done brewing, we're going to then show you how we're adding these minerals to the coffee. So in this example here, we're actually using a very clean RO filtrated water. So at this point, there's no minerals actually added to the brewing water. We're going to add minerals afterwards, but we'll get back to that later. Now, this brew that we're doing here is a very classic 12 to 200. We're using the April ceramic brewer, and we're using one of our current favorite geisha coffees, an extended washed fermentation of a geisha from El Morito that is located just outside of Guatemala City in Jalapa, a farm that we've been working with for quite some time now. And we really enjoy this coffee because you have a lot of tropical notes, you have a lot of floral notes, and just in general, a very clean geisha expression. So as I said, this water is just pure filtrated RO. And if we make a measurement in terms of total TDS, we're going to be around 30 ppm. So when doing this in general, we recommend to start with a very low TDS water. We don't necessarily recommend to use demineralized water. It's better to have a water with a little bit of content already from the beginning. And here again, in terms of recipe, we're running a 12 gram dose to 200 grams of water. We're running 70 grams in a circle over to 30 gram in a center. So one of our kind of traditional pouring structures. The water temperature sits at 92 degrees Celsius, and that second pour starts at 35 seconds. Now, after finishing up here, I want to walk you through a little bit of these 2 different ways of adding these minerals. So first of all, the minerals is created in collaboration with a company that's kind of been dominating and very present on the water mineral market for quite some time now. It's Apax. So Simon, good friend of us, we've known him for quite some time. We've been following the development of their own products. Obviously, always had a little bit of a love and hate relationship. There was a time where we thought you could taste the minerals too much. But we've had a lot of conversations over the years, and we got to a point where I think we understand each other enough to develop a product that actually really brings out the best of our coffees. I want to say, without disclosing the full mineral content here, which we're not going to do, but it is a specific mineral blend, right? So this you cannot get anywhere else. This is specifically made for April after vigorously different kind of testing, in order then to get that result that really allows us to highlight the cleanliness, the flavor intensity that comes with these really clean, crisp coffees, right? So it's been a really interesting journey, and it's been great working together with them and see how they develop their quality kind of over time. So now back to the kind of two fundamental ways of mixing the water minerals into your water. So first of all, shelf life on this product is really long. You have almost 2 years. So there's no rush in using it. And you can get quite a lot of cups, almost 100 cups out of these. So it's quite a lot of coffees in general. One of the things we want to think about is that you really need to shake it. Because you have a liquid with a range of different minerals, you want to be able to homogenize it and make it more uniform when you take it up pretty much. So shaking it means like quite vigorously for, I would say, up to almost a minute. Actually shake it before using. The official recommendation from Apax is around 10 seconds, but I don't find that is necessarily enough. So just shake it like this for quite some time. It's going to be worth it, trust me, especially from a consistency perspective, right? Now, you do have the option of, again, taking a very low ppm water, running that up to 1 liter, and basically add 1 gram of the mineral liquid. That is our kind of preferred and recommended recipe to use. What we're gonna do in this case here, it's gonna be a little bit different because we're gonna add the minerals directly to the brew. And here, again, we're doing a standard recipe of 12 to 200 that gives us around 170, 175 grams of actual brewed coffee in the servers, right? And for this, we are actually gonna add 2 drops to one of them, just to basically make sure to see the difference there, right? So in general, what we do, and this is also a new process in the store, is that we're adding 2 drops after the brewing, right? And this is just basically because it's easier to add the minerals afterwards in terms of maintaining your brewing water in general, right? Otherwise, you need to do more calculations. You have the risk of wasting more water. We are going to come back to you with a video on how we do that as well. But for this first video, we just want to show this really kind of easy and quick way to add it. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to go and do some measurements to a proper tasting, and then I'm going to get back to you with a bit more details on what you can expect in terms of the difference of taste. So we're back, and we want to share a little bit about how are the coffees actually tasting, right? So what does the difference or what is the difference then with the one with added minerals, of course, right? And it's kind of interesting here because first of all, one, there are both coming out of like nice cups of coffee, right? But the difference here is, and something that we have worked a lot on, is how do we make a little bit more intense flavor structure in the coffees, right? So keep in mind, we don't work with co-fermented coffees. We don't work with intense anaerobic fermented coffees or any kind of infusions. So we're looking at how can we get these really high quality flavors that comes out of traditional processing and really also like tune them up, right, to get the most out of it. So what we feel here really is the difference is that we have a bit more intensity of the quality good stuff in the cup with the added minerals. It's a little bit sweeter, it's a little bit juicier, especially when it goes down in the mid to low temperature. So in general, it's an improved coffee, and that's something that is really interesting, right? And that was also one of the things that we really focused on when developing this mineral blend. It was how can we keep that kind of crispness and cleanliness while then obviously within the April system of brewing, getting the most out of that coffee, right? So basically when you see this video here, we're gonna be ready to launch. So we're excited to see how it's gonna improve you, like all of you out there basically in terms of getting the best out of your April coffees at home, because that is really the focus. To do a little bit of recap as well, as we said, we're gonna have two kind of main ways of adding these minerals to the water. And it's either 1 gram per liter to your brewing water before you start brewing. Then we recommend to actually use the water with a little bit of mineral content, somewhere between 10 and 30 in terms of ppm. Or you add the minerals after to your brew, right? So it's really kind of what is the most convenient for you. Obviously, there is a little bit of a difference here. We tend to taste-wise actually appreciate adding the minerals directly to the coffee afterwards a little bit more. It also seems to overall, when we look at consistency over several cups, it seems to actually really help consistency, even though you have a little bit of a fluctuated kind of initial water there, right? So play around with it. We're gonna, as mentioned, use this for the filter coffees that we're serving in our store. So if you're in Copenhagen, you can obviously come by, talk to our team members and taste it firsthand by yourself, which is also really interesting. We're gonna give you more videos here along the kind of world of water minerals and how we can use them to improve our coffee, because we think it's a really interesting topic. In the end of the day, we should keep in mind when we're working with all of these different gadgets and equipments and minerals that the raw material you're using, being the coffee, is always going to be the most important ingredient, right? If you don't have tasty coffee, you're not going to get a tasty cup of coffee, right? Now, so with that, we're just going to wrap up this video here. And thank you, as always, for watching, sharing, commenting. All of this is really helpful. The Patreon community is growing, which we appreciate as well. And until next time, we just want to wish you a good day and thank you for watching. We want to give a special thank you to all of our Patreon supporters. It's because of you that we are able to continue to make these videos. And we want you all to feel free to always come with suggestions and ideas on the content that you want to see, because we are doing this for you and because of you. Thank you from all of us here at April.